We're glad to have you back. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has increased the pump price of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, to 617 naira per litre. With outlets in, of course, Lagos, Abuja, ranging between 500 and 600 naira. The fresh hike in price of fuel was announced yesterday by the NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Mele Kyari, while speaking to journalists after a closed-door meeting with Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima at the State House in Abuja. Meanwhile, the National President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Chinedu Okoronkwo, has explained that the petroleum products are imported to Nigeria using dollars, hence the increase in price. Well, Mr. Chinedu Okoronkwo is the National President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN. He joins me now live from our Abuja studios. Let's start the discussion this way. First, thank you so much for joining us on the program. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, Tulu.
Yes, let's start with this increase. My question would be, many believe that in a liberalized market, NNPC shouldn't be fixing prices again. But it seems like there's still price fixing. And we say we are in an open market. Can you make us understand what really the situation is?
I think we call it that they are fixing price. Remember, NNPC now is a limited liability company with their own marketing wing, the retail outlet. And I believe other people are also beginning to get in product, like the likes of Emedab, AY Shafa. There are about 56 companies ahead have been granted license bring in petroleum product. For an NNPC, as a company, I'm not speaking for them, but what they have done is that looking at the market parity and the fundamentals could have been the driving force because they still need to make profit and be in business. Comparing what is going on in the market, the Brent price has gone up from either 60-something to 80-something naira per dollar per barrel, and the volatility in our naira here. I think those factors are the factors I think must have necessitated for the increase. I believe the regime we are now is a regime where you look at what the market forces are. Remember, government is no more subsidizing this product. So they need to be in business, and they cannot sell without going back again. I think that is what has prompted this price change. They need to get the product from international markets. Those are the fundamentals.
But do you think that with the present situation, how attractive is it for private dealers or private marketers to, at the moment, want to import PMS? Is it very attractive at this time?
Well, I think for anybody to get into business, you must weigh the pros and cons. Look at the, where you get the funding and the cost of fund. It might not be too rosy. But with the investment you have done, you have no option than to see how you can still be in business. I think that could have been the essence of some of them importing now. Now that the whole thing is deregulated and they can no more depend on an NPC. An NPC is also finding a way to remain afloat. So those are the factors. And it's a regime that we have consented to. Of deregulation, moving
Oh,
forward.
I'm afraid we're losing your audio. We'd like you to maybe project more. But I'm going to ask what your reaction is. Yes, fuel subsidy is gone. That's part of the actualization or implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act. But in your terms, what is the next thing if we are really wanting to operate an opened market.
That is why we in IPMAN have really checked the whole industry. And a lot of my members have also seen that the only way to remain afloat is to begin to look to other alternatives. Countries that have transited from this subsidy removal have also seen succor in CNG. And we in IPMAN, with over 80% of the system we occupy, no village, no, all the nooks and crannies of this country, you will see my members everywhere. And I believe with this our spread and this CNG, by the time we deploy it, will also bring the needed succor and relief, the pressure on Naira. Not only that, it will also create job opportunities for the nation and also create money. Again, the economy will also blossom. People will now have cheaper energy. We need energy, no country, nothing. You need energy to operate, and the CNG has all it takes to ameliorate the suffering and pressure that is being mounted on Naira. Remember, we are not going to import this thing. There is no dollar associated with it, except maybe the equipment anyway, which of course will gradually, pay itself. CNG is energy that Nigeria, by the time we embrace it, will help us remove all these pains. The pain is too much. That is the area I think government need to work with us and encourage us in everything we are doing so that this thing will be a reality. It's not that a lot of companies are beginning to use it already. The likes of Abuja, the industry in Sokoto, the cement industry, they are using CNG to power it. The one at Okbela, they are doing something like that again. They put in something that will also power that one in Okbela. Dangote, if you check most of his trucks are now running on CNG. That is at that level. But we are now talking in a situation where this market will be properly developed. Workers, commuters will now begin to use it. It will not be your choice to either run on fuel or you run on CNG. That is the area we think will reduce the stress. The stress is much. And with the market, what the market is developing, we need to embrace this aspect and see how we can make it a reality to reduce the stress that is and the pressure that is on the dollar, and that way the country will begin to, get their economic back. Movement will also begin because you have to move. Certain business you need to be there, not only on telephone. So I believe CNG is the way to go now.
Now, well, let me follow up with that. Many say Nigeria is more of a gas country, considering our reserves, both proven and unproven reserves, running to millions of cubic feet that we have. But developing this gas infrastructure is also something that many talk about. It's capital intensive. At a particular time, the central bank channeled some funds to build all of this. So how can we make this sector more attractive? Is the PIA giving room to this so that we can have more people invest and build up, take advantage of these reserves and begin to supplement for PMS?
Tell you, Tolu, what made that program not to succeed is simple. Where is the market? there must be this market for gas for people now to begin to invest in that level. Gas business is not like, PMS business where when you bring, people can buy or you keep it there. For somebody producing gas, there must be an adequate arrangement that the market is here, because the investment has to justify the market. That is why we have started in IPMAN to begin to gather data of our members' station where we can co-locate this CNG so that it will go around. By the time this market is developed, people, these IOCs can now begin to put their investment that will run into billions, and it will be justified because the market is huge here. We have over 200 million people here, and we are laying pipe, maybe 60,000 kilometers to Morocco. The whole idea is that Morocco has ready markets. Here, let us develop this market so that it is going to be the breather for our economic recovery. And this thing is not too far now. There is technology. If people in Sokoto like Bua are using it, it's not a system where you must lay pipe. You can also get a mini LNG to transport this thing, liquefied LNG, by truck. And it will get anywhere, even outside Nigeria to some West African country. That is where to go. And those who are close to pipeline can also, make available those ones in pipeline. See, every day over 1 billion cups of this gas is being flared. And these are money being flared because the investment have not, the market is not there for them to begin to bring it and put it to the market. But we are now saying we have the technology with our group that we can even bottle it and share to households, that even some of the generators can now be converted. By the time we say the volume of fuel used in this country, it's not only on motorists, even all these small generators, when you aggregate it, assuming 1 million of it in this country, 1 liter, you are talking about every day, how many million liters? That one is not captured in the car. But this gas will also address it. It's one commodity or one product that can address 3 things in your cooking, in your house, and in your car. So this is the way to go now. And we have a reserve that can last this country over 500 years. We are so blessed with this. We are not going to import it. It's here. I think by the time government put their effort in that direction, the issue of fuel will be a matter of choice. Those who want to use PMS, you switch. If you want to use gas, you switch to gas or diesel, Tulu, that is the way to go.
Interested. Well, let me take you back again to PMS, which we still is still our major source now at the moment. Yes, I know CNG, electric, those are the ways we need to go. But let's talk refining now, because many thought that with Dangote refinery and possibly Port Harcourt refinery coming on stream very shortly, according to the federal government, we should be, heading towards, maybe a little bit of drop in price, freight, and all of that. But in actual terms, what does it mean for us if we have functional refineries with regards to pricing?
The only thing functional refinery will do for us now, maybe mitigate the cost of taking the crude out and refining it and bringing that. Maybe that could be a little margin that will mitigate the exposure. But remember, now the crude is high. If we manage our crude well, we'll also gain foreign exchange. That is the dollar. This dollar can also go a long way. But I'm not against refining this thing here. Remember, Dangote have built his refinery with a dollar. He's not going to give us this thing at a rate that he will also check the dollar parity. But the CNG I'm talking over 100 and something points is being flared a day. We can trap all this gas. Some of them are even reinjected back to the. So these are the gas we can get. Some are even in the pipe. What's this West African pipeline gas up to Ghana? We have all these things here. AKK is also coming that way. So let us see. The technology I'm talking about now is something we can achieve within 3 to 4 months. It's plug and play. Already, the gas is being flared. Just to get those gas that are being flared, move it to areas we can now begin to put it in our various stations. We have all these things God have given us. Petroleum business is something, the volatility we cannot. Look at Saudi Arabia now have reduced their pumping out over 1 million barrels. Those are some of the factors. Ukraine-Russian war is still there. So what do? We look at those. CNG is already in place since 2007. NIPCO had their own in Benin. A lot of people, over 8,000 cars have been converted there. But we have 30-something thousand filling stations that in our station, we can convert 2 cars in a day. When you translate it, maybe around 60,000 cars a day. Before you open your eyes, within 1 year, a lot of people would have had this CNG. It will not be a matter of choice. Maybe if you get to the area where the CNG is now, you switch to fuel. Then when you come where the area where this CNG is, you take your CNG. It's cheaper, environmentally friendly, and better mileage. And we'll also gain carbon credit because we are signatories to, saving our ecology. The greenhouse effect is also, there that we should enjoy this credit. By the time we begin to use cleaner energy, we will now begin to have something from those credits that we have saved for ourselves. That to itself is also another source of income. We should not be fixating our energy only on PMS. PMS will be there, but let us have other energy alternatives. That is what we are preaching. And look at countries like Egypt, India that have transited from subsidy. What they had going for them is this CNG. But God, in His infinite mercy, have given us this in megatons, in abundance. So why can't we use it to the benefit of mankind? And that is why we are now working assiduously with some bank to get data of people who are interested, especially my member and other people. By the time we deploy this with the support of government, create the market, that is where to go. It's not something you will now begin to talk of years, no. It's about months, 3 to 4 months. It's plug and play, like I said before, Tolu.
Interesting stuff. I like it, taking that conversation away from the regular and looking at other energy alternatives, like you said, is the way to go. I must thank you so much, Mr. Chinedu Okoronkwo. He is the president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN. We'll follow up and see how we take advantage of CNG over PMS. I agree with you, and that's really the way to go. Clean energy, that's what is in vogue at the moment. Thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me, Tolu.